Good morning everyone. Myself Kausar Momin, 10th standard, subject Science 1, chapter number 8, Metallurgy. In this chapter, the things which we don't want to study, like as we know 25% syllabus has reduced. So while teaching this chapter, while explaining this chapter, I'll tell you which part you have to study or not. Already I have submitted you the 25% reduced syllabus. Still I am explaining that part which you don't need to study. Okay, so here in this chapter, very first, the given part is that physical properties of metals, physical properties of non-metals. No need to study these two, and whatever no need to study, that I'll tell you. Please take your textbook along with you to cancel it out, and please take your notebook along with you, because in this chapter we are going to discuss about reactions and all. So please keep it along with you. First we will see what is exactly metallurgy, then we will discuss in detail about it, exactly what is the part of metallurgy, how you are going to see, where you can see in our day-to-day life, where we are using all these words. So that we are going to discuss about this. This is not part of your syllabus but only part of extra knowledge, like what is exactly metallurgy. In our chapter we have to discuss about their reactions and all, but what is exactly metallurgy, that thing you should have to know very clearly. This is not part of your syllabus, this definition and all, this is just extra knowledge. So please concentrate over here. Metallurgy is a domain of materials science and engineering that studies the physical and chemical behavior of metallic elements. Whatever metallic elements are there, the study of their physical and chemical behavior of their studies. Which studies? Metallic elements, physical and chemical properties that metallic elements. So all these things comes in metallurgy. So their intermetallic compounds and their mixtures. Which mixtures? Metallic mixtures, which are called alloys. This word which we are using our day-to-day life. Metallurgy encompasses both the science and technology of metals, that is, the way in which science is applied to the production of metals and the engineering of metal components used in products for both consumers and manufacturers. Metallurgy is distinct from the craft of metalworking. Metalworking relies on metallurgy in a similar manner to how medicine relies on medical science for technology advancement. A specialist practitioner of metallurgy is known as metallurgist, like sonologist, and also whoever is the specialist for the same practice of metallurgy, that is called as metallurgist. This is part of only introduction, not as your syllabus. You should have know about what is exactly metallurgy. Metallurgy meaning to study of chemical and physical properties of metal. Just keep this thing in your mind. Whatever I have explained before this, that is only part of introduction of metallurgy. What is metallurgy? So here is your chapter. Earth was born about 4.5 billion years ago. Various formative processes have been taking place in the core of the earth, that whenever we are studying about the history of our earth, so obviously you know about it, and its surrounding since its creation till today. These have resulted in the formation of various ores, liquids and gases. So the substances around us are in the form of some or the other elements or their compounds In the beginning, elements were classified in accordance with their chemical and physical properties into the types of metal. Whenever we are considering any kind of substance, before to consider it, we are seeing their physical and chemical properties. So here also we are going to discuss about their properties and all, and types of metals. To study all this thing, that comes in metallurgy only. Metals, non-metals and metalloids, and these are in use even today. Obviously we are using this in our day-to-day life. You have studied their characteristics in the last standard. Obviously we studied all these things in part of chapter number 5, acid, bases and salts. We have seen many reactions and all. Some kind of reaction we are going to discuss about in this chapter also. We are going to get more information about this part in this lesson. So here, properties of metals, which no need to study, this comes in reduced syllabus. Next is properties of non-metals, that also no need to study. Our next topic is chemical properties of metals, which we have to study. Chemical properties, what things comes in this chemical properties of metals? Obviously if it is chemical, some kind of reactions are there. If we are going to consider about chemically study, then obviously reactions produced in it. Okay, so metals are reactive. Obviously we all know about it. They lose electrons easily and become positively charged ions. That is why metals are called electropositive elements. How they lose like easily they lose electrons? A normal part in our day-to-day life, we are seeing like current, electricity and all. So in that we are using wires, metal wires only. Current is passes through it, so obviously electrons are flowing in it. That means electron lose very easily, and positive get attracts to each other. So that is why they lose electrons. Positive gets attract with each other, and hence we are saying it as electropositive elements. Clear? A part of important thing, substances which are good conductors of heat are usually good conductors of electricity as well. Similarly, bad conductors of heat are also bad conductors of electricity. But the exception is diamond, which is bad conductor of electricity but good conductor of heat. Only diamond comes in it. So this kind of question can come in your MCQs and also the thing which is good conductor of heat and bad conductor of electricity. So we should have to know about diamond is that one. Next we will perform part of activity. In this activity, when we are performing it, so few things which we have not to study, that is when we are performing this experiment in lab or something else while considering it. So we should have to not consider this sodium, copper and lead. These three things we should have to not to study about their reaction or while performing in the lab. Okay, so this copper, lead and sodium is. Now next we will consider apparatus, pair of tongs or spatula, we can say it as, knife and burner. You can observe here, knife is burner, heat is there, this is spatula, and for knife to cut the samples like aluminium and all. Procedure is, hold the sample of each of the above metals at the top of the flame of a burner with the help of pair of tongs or spatula, we can see it as. So what is things is happening? What we have to do, suppose if we are using aluminium, so this aluminium we have to consider in this spatula, and we should have to give it the heat through this burner. So what the thing can happen over here? Which metal catches fire rapidly, like readily? We have to consider with aluminium, iron, magnesium and zinc. So you have to observe one by one and you have to see which metal can fire like readily. How does the surface of metal appear on catching fire? What is the color of the flame while the metal is burning on the flame? All these things you have to see when we are performing the experiment. Before to see this, all these things we are having the things which are given over here, that is about their reactions, and the reactions are of metals with oxygen. Why metals with oxygen? Because obviously we are giving heat, means oxygen is there. Metals combine with oxygen on heating in air and metal oxides are formed. Whatever metal is there, suppose aluminium is there, so aluminium oxide form, right? So in generally we can say metal oxides are formed. Sodium and potassium, obviously sodium here we don't need to consider. Whenever we are considering with the sodium, presence of teacher should be there. Now here we are considering only part of reaction, so we can see that, but this will not come in your exam. Sodium and potassium are very reactive metals. Sodium metal combines with oxygen in the air even at room temperature and forms sodium oxides. So if here sodium we are taking 4Na, which is solid form, and we are giving oxygen, means we are heating it, so what we are getting? Sodium oxide. This is the reaction for sodium oxide. On exposure to air, sodium readily catches fire. Therefore, to prevent accident in the laboratory or elsewhere, it is kept in kerosene. Obviously it catches fire very rapidly, so this sodium we are keeping in the kerosene. Oxides of some metals are soluble in water. They react with water to form alkali. Suppose this sodium oxide we are keeping in water, so what we are getting? NaOH solution, which we can say it as sodium hydroxide. We know that magnesium oxide is formed on burning magnesium. Obviously when you burn this magnesium, so what we are getting? Magnesium oxide. Magnesium oxide reacts with water to form an alkali called magnesium hydroxide. Magnesium oxide is react with the water. What we are getting? Magnesium hydroxide. So this is the reaction for the magnesium. Now next reaction is with reaction of metals with water. Here we have to consider beaker. Obviously what we have to see? Reaction with the water. Samples of various elements. Sodium metal should not be taken, and whenever we are considering, if you want to see sodium reaction, so presence of teacher should be there. What? Okay. Now procedure is drop a piece of each metal in separate beakers filled with cold water. Which metal reacts with water? Which metal floats on water? Why? Prepare a table with reference to the above procedure and note your observation. All these things we will perform definitely in laboratory. Here we have to see about their reactions and all, like we have to imagine like this, all these things are happening. Obviously whatever reaction is happening we all see in the laboratory. So here is the reaction for obviously sodium we have to don't handle. Sodium and potassium metal reacts rapidly and sorry, I forgot this part. This two reaction no need to study. Obviously this is the reduced part of which comes in 25% of reduced syllabus. Okay, so we will go ahead with the another one. This sodium and potassium no need to study. This will not come in your exam also. We will go ahead with the another reaction, that is for calcium. Calcium reacts with water slowly and less vigorously. The hydrogen gas released in this reaction collects on the surface of metal in the form of bubbles and the metal floats on water. Here is the reaction for the same calcium reaction with the water. And what we are getting? Calcium hydroxide, and H2 gas is removing. Like bubbles we are getting, that means H2 gas is removing over there. And this metal floats on water. The metals aluminium, iron and zinc do not react with cold or hot water, but they react with steam to form their oxides. Obviously, which are they? Calcium is react with water, and aluminium, iron and zinc do not react with water, they react with the steam. Please keep this thing in your mind, which are the things which react with the steam. So you should have to know about aluminium, iron and zinc are react with the steam. And what is going to form? With oxides are going to form, right? Hydrogen gas is released in this reaction. So reaction for aluminium is this one. Aluminium is going to get react with this water, and what we are getting? Al2O3, aluminium oxide, and H2 gas is removing. Water means this should be very much heated, like steam is removing it. Okay, so some kind, that kind of water is should be there. Now next is ferrous, which is part of iron. That is reaction of this thing is with steamed water, and what we are getting? Ferrous oxides and hydrogen gas is removing it. Now next is zinc, that is react with the steam water, and we are getting zinc oxide, H2 gas is removing. And for this procedure you can observe this diagram. This is the step for the same. We are giving heat on the glass wool soaked in water. Here is your metal, and one cork is attached with this test tube, and through one pipe is removing it. The hydrogen gas we can observe with this water. The bubbles are creating on over here, and bubbles are creating over there, means hydrogen gas is there. Okay. So this is the diagram for reaction of metal with water. Next is reactions of metals with oxygen. Before this we have seen reactions with water and all. Now here we have to see with the oxygen. So what kind of things we have to consider over here? First of all, we will see the diagram. Whatever given things are there, we will discuss in this part. So stand this test tube with dilute HCl. In this dilute HCl we are taking, you can observe this, we are taking over here zinc granules, and bubbles are forming when we are dipping in this zinc. Here is the cork, through the cork tube is there, that is delivery tube, and this tube is dipped in this soap bubbles. This is soap solution, and here we are considering one candle in the hand. Obviously if we consider when this bubbles falls on this candle, so hydrogen gas burning with cracking noise. So this is the part of diagram, reactions of metals with dilute acid. So let's go ahead with this explanation. In the earlier chapter we have looked into reactions of metal with the acids. Are all the metal equally reactive? Obviously no, their reactions are different. If substances changes, then reaction is going to get definitely changes. When samples of aluminium, magnesium, iron or zinc are treated with dilute sulfuric or hydrochloric acid, sulfate or chloride, salts of metals are formed. Hydrogen gas is liberated in this reaction. The reactivity of these metals can be indicated by this sequence, like the reactions between, if you consider the reaction between them, magnesium and aluminium, then magnesium is much more reactive than aluminium. If you will compare this to aluminium and zinc. So aluminium is much more reactive than the zinc. If you'll consider the example between zinc and ferrous, which is part of iron, so zinc is much more reactive than the ferrous. So here are the reactions for the same. Here if we consider magnesium, so when magnesium is added with the dilute hydrochloric acid, then we are getting magnesium chloride and hydrogen gas is removing it. When we are considering with aluminium is going to get added with the hydrochloric acid, then we are getting aluminium chloride and hydrogen gas is removing from it. When we are considering with ferrous, which is part of iron, with the hydrochloric acid, we are getting ferrous chloride and hydrogen gas is removing it. When we are considering with zinc, then zinc chloride we are getting and hydrogen gas is removing from there. So these are all these reactions which are very, very important, which you have to write in your notebook also. Here you can ask question like why 2HCl, 6HCl, 2HCl and all is there. Why not single HCl? So whenever suppose one proportion is there, single HCl is there, and if you are adding over here single HCl, so this reaction is not going to come out. So we have to add the another proportion of HCl in it. Suppose one HCl is there, then reaction is not happening over there. So you have to add another part of HCl. Suppose it is 2 times of HCl, then this reaction is happening with it. When we are taking aluminium, so 2 times of aluminium, suppose single one aluminium you are taking as proportion, you are taking it, so the reaction is not happening. You have to add 2 times of aluminium because it is 2AlCl3. Obviously it is part of reaction that you have to add in it, and a specific time you will get that reaction. Suppose for this HCl also a single proportion you have added in it, so nothing is going to come out, so you have to add one more, so it is going to become 6 times of that proportion. Obviously then only you will get that reaction. So that is why here we have added times 2 times and 6 times and all, because whenever you are adding in it, that time you will get this reaction. Next part is reactions of metals with nitric acid. So here nitric acid is there. Nitrate salts of metals are formed on reactions of metals with the nitric acid. When reactions of metals with nitric acid is going to form, what we are getting? Nitrate salts of metals. Various oxides of nitrogen like N2O, NO, NO2 are also formed in accordance with the concentration of nitric acid. Suppose this copper is there, Cu, so this nitric acid which is HNO3 which is concentrated, so what we are getting? Cu, NO3 2 and 2NO2 and H2O which is form of liquid. So here what is going to form? Nitrate salt, which is we can see it as copper nitrate and all. So again this Cu, 3 times of Cu which is copper, when it is added with the dilute one, this is concentrated and this is dilute. Okay, so 8 times of HNO3. So here is the formation of the same Cu, NO3 2 NO which is gas, and 4 times of H2O. Suppose it is dilute, so this liquid is going to form much more than as compared to concentrated one. So this is the reaction of metals with nitric acid, and when metals are going to react with nitric acid, so what we are going to form? Nitrate salt. So we can see it as copper nitrate and all, right? So here your homework is reactions of metals with oxygen. So here you have to write this too. This you have to write. Next is these reactions for calcium, and all these 3 reactions you have to write. Next is reactions of metal with oxygen, all these reactions, and with nitric acid, these two reactions. All is part of your homework. Thank you.